so happy to hear that. Okay, Mason or Parker, which one of you has a joke?
We have to finish this.
That's not.
Somebody's not muted. All right, there we go. All right, Mason and Parker, do you guys have a joke?
No, but
No.
I do have something to show you.
I would love to see it. Show me.
My new tooth is when I lost a tooth.
I can see that. Was that your very first tooth that you lost?
No, my
No.
second.
Your second one. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Does it feel weird to have that big hole in your face?
No.
No, it doesn't.
No, look at my loose tooth. You put it in the back.
Nice. Is anyone going to come visit you for that tooth?
No.
No? All right. Just
Look.
It
It looks like that.
I see it. I see your tooth. That is so exciting. Very exciting. Congratulations. Okay, it looks like Grace has something she wants to share with us this morning. And then Dash, I'll get you next, okay? All right.
I lost 8 of my teeth, and Annie has a wiggler.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of teeth to lose. Do you have any teeth left in your face? I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You do? Oh, that's good, because otherwise you would just have to eat like mashed potatoes and applesauce. Yeah, that's glad. I'm so glad that you still have teeth. It makes me happy. All right. It sounds like Dash wants to share something with us. Go ahead, Dash.
I lost 2 teeth,
Uh-huh.
and I have 2 loose ones right now.
What? My goodness. Everybody's losing all their teeth. That's good. You know what that means? That means you're growing up. Do you know that's also
I also have something to show you.
that's also an adaptation, because you're growing in bigger teeth to allow you to eat more food. So apparently I'm getting
And I already have one that's able to see. You can
I see it. Look at that adult tooth. Very cool.
That was my first tooth I lost.
Yeah.
And it,
Growing
that
up.
was not my first one to pull.
Okay. I see.
The other one, it was my first one.
Got it.
And one happened after lunch, and the other one happened at night.
At night. Okay.
But good thing I woke up
Uh-huh.
when it was loose enough to come out.
Yeah, so you didn't.
I woke
swallow
up
it.
just in time.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing with us, Dash. Okay, it looks like I have Mr. Jet wants to share one more thing with us, and then we're going to start class. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day long talking about.
Story and a joke. Let's
Okay.
do the joke first. What does a pirate steal in his spare time?
What does a pirate steal in his spare time? I don't know. Oh, hold on. We have a guest over here.
Oh, they are Z's?
Does he steal Z's? Like sleeping? No. Okay.
3.
What is it?
Art.
Oh, art. Did you say that? Oh, apparently I had a kid standing right here that said it, and I didn't even hear. That's a good one. Art. That's exactly what we're talking
Story.
about. Okay.
Well, I lost my teeth. I lost my teeth, and they're all gone. But the story is that when I was younger, and we were in a house, I was doing front flips on the couch. 7. And then I wanted everybody to see, so I grabbed everyone to come in, and I did it. And then my 2 front teeth here smacked into the coffee table. One of them broke into 3 pieces. The other was perfectly fine. And it hurt.
My whole mouth hurts now thinking about that, Jet.
I was in a different room, and so I had no idea what happened when I came in. I just wanted to taste what coffee tables tasted like.
You should just drink coffee and not try to eat a coffee table. Come on. Okay. So hold on. Give me just 1 second. Make smart choices, please. Okay, it's on, guys. Today, I'm your teacher again. which is pretty exciting because I like teaching you guys stuff. And we are going to learn about Georgia O'Keeffe and a couple other famous artists that focus on landscapes and nature in their art. But I want to know, raise your hand, and I can see pretty much everybody in class today. So raise your hand if you've ever heard of Georgia O'Keeffe. Nope, no, yes, Max, yes, Max. Hi, how are you, by the way? I didn't even get to say hi to you this morning. A little bit, okay. How about Ansel Adams? Has anyone ever heard of him? Okay, this is great. Max has, okay. So at least I found something that you guys will actually learn, because a lot of you are so smart that sometimes they teach you things and you don't even learn anything from me because you already knew it all. So sometimes I learn things from you. So today we are going to screen share. Well, give me just a second. We are going to, why is it not showing up on my screen? Hold on really quick. We are going to learn a little bit about these two famous artists, and hopefully you guys will take away some new information, okay? So we're gonna move this. I have loud children in my house today. I'm sure you guys can hear them in the background. So nature and arts. Yes, please be careful. Okay. So we're gonna, as you can see, we're gonna learn about Georgia O'Keeffe and Ansel Adams. Okay. So if you have something you want to say, try to raise your hand. But do remember, guys, I'm the only adult on this call today again. So sometimes I can't see everybody's raised hand. So if you can put it in the group chat, sometimes that'll be a little bit easier for me too if you have a question, so that I can see that. Okay. Otherwise, I will try my best as always to catch any questions that come along. Okay, so this is a picture of Georgia O'Keeffe, and we're gonna watch a quick, maybe some of you have ever used Brain Pop before, but we're gonna watch a quick little video about Georgia O'Keeffe, just because I think that it recaps her life a little bit better than I could even do it. So here we go. Can everybody hear?
Breathtaking, isn't it? Yeah. Dear Tim and Moby, who was the artist Georgia O'Keeffe? From Smurfette. No, silly, Georgia was her name, not where she was born. Georgia O'Keeffe was an American artist known for her paintings of landscapes, flowers, and animal bones. During a career that spanned most of the 20th century, she became one of the country's most influential and celebrated artists. Well, O'Keeffe felt restricted by realism, in which art depicts the world we see with our eyes. She was fascinated by abstraction, a more personal way of looking at the world. So she came up with a unique style that combined the two, blending realistic styles with abstract elements. That's why she's usually classified as a modernist, a member of an artistic movement that flourished during the first few decades of the 20th century. In general, modernism broke away from European artistic traditions and experimented with new techniques and ideas. O'Keeffe was born in 1887 in a farmhouse near Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. As a little girl, she knew she wanted to be an artist, and she showed great promise in the art lessons she took with her sisters. She continued her art education in schools in Chicago, New York, and Virginia, and eventually became an art teacher herself. But she didn't really develop her own style until 1915, when she created a series of innovative charcoal drawings. Oh yeah, you're right. It does look like a landscape. Those are mountains, those are trees, and that's a river. Anyway, O'Keeffe's bold lines and subtle tones caught the eye of Alfred Stieglitz, a photographer and art gallery owner in New York. In 1916, Stieglitz put 10 of O'Keeffe's drawings on display in his gallery. He also convinced her to leave her teaching job, and in 1918, she moved to New York City to become a full-time artist. The two fell in love and got married in 1924. Throughout the 1920s, O'Keeffe split her time between the city and a summer house at nearby Lake George. During that time, she created a series of oil paintings that are among her most important works. She painted extreme close-ups of flowers, creating an effect that was almost like looking through a magnifying glass. Yeah, at first you're not quite sure what you're looking at. By focusing on the tiniest details of individual petals, O'Keeffe made abstract paintings out of realistic images. This magnification effect was groundbreaking and helped establish O'Keeffe as a major star in the art world. But despite her fame and success, she soon found herself searching for new sources of artistic inspiration. So, in 1929, she took a trip here, to sunny New Mexico. She immediately fell in love with the natural beauty of the Southwest, its open skies, jagged rocks, and pristine deserts. She tried to capture the vivid colors of the landscape, often using the same close-up techniques she used in her flower paintings. She also found a new favorite object to paint, the animal skulls scattered throughout the desert terrain. Actually, O'Keeffe saw these bones as symbols of beauty, not death. She was fascinated by their unusual shapes and sun-bleached surfaces, and she included them in many of her paintings from New Mexico. She loved to place larger-than-life skulls smack in the middle of natural settings, creating a dreamlike effect. For the next 20 years, she returned to New Mexico almost every summer to paint. And in 1949, 3 years after Stieglitz died, she moved there permanently. Though she continued to work and travel over the next several decades, newer styles of art made her stuff seem, well, a bit outdated. Then, in 1970, the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York recognized her in a retrospective, a special exhibition that looks back on an artist's career. It revived interest in O'Keeffe among the younger generation of art lovers. And for the growing feminist movement, her success as a female artist symbolized women's progress in 20th century America. Well, even though her eyesight began to fail in 1971, she continued to paint until her death in 1986. She was 98 years old when she died, leaving behind more than 2,000 paintings. I think I could use some water.
All right. So you can see she had a long, huge history in art, right? And so we're just going to kind of look at some of her paintings. And although they mentioned it in the video, we're going to kind of talk about it and what it kind of means and what she does with nature to be able to show people nature. Is there anybody on the call right now that would like to read this quote to us so that I don't have to read it? Anybody? Raise your hand. Ella, go for it, love. Nice and loud so we can hear you, okay?
Okay. When you take a flower in your hand and really look at it, it is your world for the moment. I want to give that world to someone else. Most people in the city rush around so they have no time to look at the flower. I want them to see whether they want to or not. Georgia O'Keeffe.
Kind of cool, right? I mean, what does that really mean? Does anyone want to tell us what that means and how you feel about that? Like, what does it mean for that quote? Where's Max or some of our older kids like Lily or Ariella? I'm not sure if I said your name right, but what does that mean to you? Do either of you want to share? You don't have to. I'm not going to force you to. You're muted, so if you want to say something, you have to unmute yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go. I won't pick on you, I promise. You're just some of my older kids. And I don't see Max on here because usually Max has some. Oh, Max, you want to tell us anything about how that makes you feel?
I think it is trying to say that people rush around too much and they don't stop to actually see what's around them. And they're just trying to get to the next place and never get any pleasure out of anything.
Yeah, it's true. Do you think that that's true?
Yeah.
You do think that's true. Do you think that you fall under that too, or do you think you try to slow down a little bit more?
I think I try to slow down a little bit more.
You try to slow down a little bit more. Yeah. I think I like to try to think that I do too, but I know sometimes we get really busy with life and it's hard to kind of slow down, especially as adults. You know, we've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things we're trying to do. So it is important that we slow down and we really appreciate the beauty. And that's kind of what Georgia O'Keeffe was trying to do with some of her paintings. So we're gonna go to the next slide. So this just kind of talks about some of the things that she tries to incorporate into her paintings. So she used a lot of bright colors and bold, intense colors to make things look really, really intense, right? And they talked about this in the video too, that she often zooms in on one specific thing so that so that you can't really get away from it. It is that flower. That middle picture is completely zoomed in and all you see is that portion of the flower, right? And then she focuses a lot on nature. She loved the forms and the shapes of nature, and she would walk for miles in the desert sun of New Mexico, collecting rocks and bones to be able to paint. A lot of her artwork also, where you would normally see sharp corners, she does a lot of rounded corners. Okay, so she doesn't paint things exactly the way they are. She rounds them out a little bit, which kind of leads into the fact that there's a lot of curvy lines. It's really loopy. It's really flowy, right? It's not sharp. It's not super sharp. And she rarely, almost ever, paints people in her pictures. Only nature. So even, I was reading a little bit up on it, and even if there was a person within her view as she was painting, she just left them completely out of it. She didn't paint the people. She really tried to appreciate the pieces of work that nature really is, right? She tried to look at everything for exactly what it was and paint exactly what she saw. So here's a couple of her landscapes, because that's exactly what she was really famous for doing, is some of her landscapes. And then this is a quote from her. I found I could say things with color and shape that I couldn't say any other way. Things I had no words for. And so she painted, it kind of sounds like she painted with her feelings a little bit, right? So she maybe saw things, but she maybe felt some other things, and she may have tried to convey her feelings into her paintings. So as we're looking at these two paintings, I want you to raise your hand if there's going to be, we're going to label them. I should have labeled them on the PowerPoint, so sorry for that. The one with the mountains is painting A, okay? The one with the skull and the rock is painting B, okay? So I want you guys to raise your hand, and as you're looking at these pictures, which one makes you feel like, you know, inside you really love it? You love the way it looks, you love the colors, you love just everything about it. So I want you to raise your hand if picture A is your favorite, the one with the mountains. Okay, yeah, handful of you. All right, fantastic. And then raise your hand if picture B is your favorite. Yeah, cool. And I actually think I like picture B too. I don't really know why, but it does. It just makes me feel a bit happy, a bit dreamy, like it's just really beautiful. I think I like the colors in it. I like the flower in it. It's just a really beautiful picture that she painted. So this is, okay, go get a towel. And if down the hallway, sorry. So it said in the video that Georgia O'Keeffe, later on in her life, she moved here to New Mexico, and she lived in a place called the Ghost Ranch. And a lot of her paintings are of views that she saw directly out of her window. Okay, so this is a picture of, and she titled it, is My Backyard. So this is exactly what she saw when she looked out her backyard. And it's, I think it goes back to what Max was kind of telling us that quote means, is she's really learning how to slow down and appreciate nature for what it looks like. And so if you go and you do some research about Georgia O'Keeffe, you'll know that the house that she lived in on the Ghost Ranch has, her bedroom has 3 walls, completely all windows. That's it. She could see everything around her. And so the only wall that wasn't a window was the wall that her bed was on. So when she woke up in the morning, she really, truly tried to appreciate everything that she saw and spent time painting the things that she saw. Let me check the group chat really quick. It looks like we have a couple questions. Oh no, it looks like Charlotte's been to the Ghost Ranch. Very cool. Not something I've ever done, but I would love to, especially after looking at some of her paintings. I would love to be able to go and see what she was seeing when she was painting these. So we're gonna have a little quiz. All right, per se. You guys are good at quizzes. I know you are. Some of these are really easy and some of them aren't. So we're gonna go through, and always the one on the left side, I think it's left for you guys. Is that I think it should be the same. The one on the left side is gonna be A. The one on the right side is gonna be B, okay? So A, B, all the time. So I want you to, I'm gonna make it so I can see all of you again. I want you to raise your hand if you think that the picture on the left side is Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. And then I want you to raise your hand if you think the painting on the right side is Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. All right, it looks like we have some of everything. Let's see which one it is. Okay, who was right? Raise your hand if you were right. Oh yeah, I see some dancing. Little virtual high fives, good job. Boop, 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 boop. Good job, fantastic. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we got the one on the left, the one on the right. Okay, again, I should have labeled them. Sorry guys, usually I'm better at that. Raise your hand if you think the one on the left is the one that's Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. Okay, some hands, some hands. Raise your hand if you think it's the one on the right is Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. Lots of hands, I see. All right, raise your hand if you're correct. Oh yeah, little dance party, oh yeah, all right, fantastic. But now, I'm gonna stop right there because I wanna know why. Somebody tell me why you chose that one. All right, Grace, go for it. Grace and Emmy.
Because it has lots of colors in it, and George O'Keeffe likes to do like really close-up pictures, and they look pretty like good.
Yeah, oh, that's perfect. Good job, Grace. Fantastic. Does anybody want to add anything to that? Why? Okay, I'm gonna go say Nicole Jaramillo, but I'm assuming that's probably mom's name, but you guys go ahead and unmute yourself and add to that.
Our names are actually, I'm Amari and he's Santiago.
Okay,
But we
I'm gonna change it. Okay, Amari, oops. Go ahead and add to it.
The other painting is not all filled with nature. It mostly is, but it left out some parts. And for Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings, she always wants to fill the picture with nature.
Fantastic. I love it. Very good. Thank you, Amari. Anybody else want to add to that? Jatnella, go ahead.
Okay. Well, we're both gonna say it.
Sure.
It's all curvy.
Yeah, it's all curvy. And we talked about she really likes those curvy lines, right? So when we're looking at those two, can you guys still see the artwork?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Okay, I can't. I'm not sure what happened to my computer. I decided it didn't want to be my friend anymore. Yeah, so it is very curvy, right? It's all the lines are really, really curvy. It's also very, does it look real? No, it doesn't really look real, right? I mean, the picture on the left, it kind of almost looks like it could be a picture, like a photograph, right? Whereas hers, it's very artsy. It's not realistic, right? It's kind of more modern. She doesn't really paint things exactly the way they see them. She paints the way that they make her, everybody say it, they make her feel, right? So she's painting the way that it makes her feel. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. If I can get my computer to be my friend. Okay, so here's our next one. This one's a little more difficult, I think. So I want you to raise your hand if you think it's the picture on the left. Okay. Raise your hand if you think it's the picture on the right. Okay. Okay. Oh, like we got like half of each. All right. Who got it right? Right on. Okay. So I would like for you to tell me why. Somebody that hasn't spoken yet. Somebody that hasn't spoken yet. Can somebody tell me why that's her painting? Levi? Can you unmute yourself, Levi? There we go.
It's because it was more like a hallway, and the other picture was more like real, because I have seen that of a dandelion that looks like that. And the other side I have never seen a flower like that, except maybe of the ginormous flowers over very far away in the rainforest.
Oh, okay. That is great feedback. Thank you, Levi. I appreciate that. Does anybody else want to add to Levi's? Max, go for it, bud.
I think that one was hers because she likes kind of blending everything together in one color. Because you can see here, most of the stuff is red. There's a little bit of green, but most of it is red. And it doesn't, she's not trying to look real. You can definitely see where the paintbrush went.
Yeah.
And not trying to make it look like a photograph.
Yeah, perfect. I think that's right. What is in the background? Anybody want to share? Ella, go ahead. What's in the background?
The mountains, and the mountains are curved and not pointed.
That's true. And the mountains are part of landscape, right? And she really loves to paint landscapes. So it really does. I mean, you guys are really picking up on her styles and her techniques. So that's fabulous. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a quick video. This one's much quicker, of Mr. Ansel Adams. Okay, his artwork is very different from Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia paints and Ansel takes photographs. Okay, so we're gonna watch a quick little video on him, and then we're gonna do the same type of thing. We're gonna look at his artwork and see if we can figure out
the LumenCube Panel Mini, our most affordable bi-color LED panel yet.
it is.
The LumenCube Panel Mini was designed for creators of all levels that have one thing in common.
Skip that ad. And we're not watching the whole thing.
Try to preserve fleeting moments. Well, it depends what you call fleeting. Sometimes, in the geologic sense, a year is a very fleeting moment. And sometimes with the people, it's a 25th of a second.
These days, you're most likely to see the work of American photographer Ansel Adams on a postcard or on the wall of your boss's office. His photographs are so ubiquitous now that it's easy to walk by them without noticing their technical and aesthetic mastery. Indeed, thanks to things like Instagram and Snapchat, photographs in general are so ever present in our lives that standards about what we believe to be great work in this field are drowned out by the literally billions of photos that are uploaded to these services every day.
I come across something that excites me. I see the picture in my mind's eye, and I make a photograph, and then I give it to you as the equivalent of when I saw it and felt it.
In the beginning, Ansel Adams took photographs not unlike all those millions of us on Instagram, as a visual diary of his experience. Adams took his first brownie box camera on trips to the Sierra Nevada mountains, the place that would enthrall him for the rest of his life. His early photographs are enthusiastic, but uninspired. Adams had that feeling that I have every single time I pick up a still camera, of not getting in the print what I see with my eyes. Now, this is largely because the dynamic range of the human eye, the brightest and darkest thing it can see at the same time, exceeds any film or digital camera, especially those Ansel was using in the early 20th century. But this all changed for Adams on April 10th, 1927. The footage you're watching right now is from an excursion Adams took with his future wife, Virginia, to the Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Hauling his Corona View camera, 2 lenses, 2 filters, a heavy wooden tripod, and 12 glass plates, He made his way onto the so-called diving board, where you can look along the side of the massive granite dome. And here, Adams had a vision of what he wanted his image to look like. He cites this as his first conscious use of the technique called visualization.
The whole key lies very specifically in seeing it in the mind's eye, which we call visualization.
First, Adams tried his yellow filter. This is the image it produced, similar probably to what Adams saw looking through the camera's viewfinder. But it's not what he visualized in his mind's eye. There was no excitement in the frame. So he took out his red filter for a second shot. He set the exposure at f22 and exposed the plate for 5 seconds. When Adams developed this photo and it matched his internal visualization, he knew that this was his life's calling. And look at the difference it makes. The darkened sky charges the image with drama and intensity in contrast. And Adams had an instinctive genius about tonal balance and contrast, and to formalize his craft, to ensure that he could achieve his visualizations, he developed another tool with his friend.
Okay, I'm actually going to end it there because it is kind of a long video. But I felt like it really gave us a glimpse into what Ansel Adams was trying to do. And just like Georgia O'Keeffe, he was really trying to paint what he was feeling, right? Not necessarily what he actually saw. He saw certain things and he couldn't get them into a photograph. And so he worked really hard to develop these new techniques to show what nature can really look like and what it can really make you feel like on the inside, okay? So we're gonna look at some of his work. As we're looking, you know, Georgia O'Keeffe, she loved color. She loved bright colors. She liked to show us a huge variety of colors. And almost all of Ansel Adams' work is black and white, okay? So huge, huge difference. One of his main passions in life was to visit Yosemite, and he really loved to photograph pieces of nature in Yosemite. And then nature in general. He was dedicated artist and activist, playing a role in the growth of environmental consciousness in the United States. So he wanted people to pay attention to nature. He wanted people to pay attention to the things that were happening outside. And with that, he really continued to inspire artists and conservationists, people that cared about the land, and they want to take care of the animals, and they want to take care of the land, and they want to take care of the water that surround us, just like New Mexico Wildlife Federation, where I work. I mean, that's our main goal. We want to take care of the land, we want to take care of the water, and we want to take care of the wildlife so that you guys, when you grow up, you guys have a place to be. And when you get even older and you have kids of your own, your kids have a beautiful state, just like New Mexico is right now, to enjoy and have fun and go hiking and be outdoors. And so using his artwork, he was really inspiring people to pay attention to nature and to listen to nature and to watch nature and take care of nature. And so we are going to look at some of his artwork now. Okay, so I think this one's pretty easy, okay? Again, left one or right one. So raise your hand if you think it is the left one that is Ansel Adams. It says painting. It is not a painting. I just caught that right now. We all know he did not paint these. They were photographs. That is completely my fault. Sorry about that, guys. So left one, raise your hand. Do you think it's the left one or the right one? Okay, left one, raise your hand. Now right one, raise your hand. All right, let's see which one it is. Left one. Raise your hand if you got it right. Do a little boogie. Do a little shake, some virtual high fives. Woo, woo. Yeah, all right. Yeah, go ahead, Levi. A high five. I saw that coming. Yeah, all right. Good job. Okay, next one. Oh, just kidding. Well, apparently. Oh, what is happening? Technology. I gave you guys the answer, although this was the easiest one anyways, because I mean, somebody tell me why this one was so easy.
Because one is in color.
Oh, yeah, because one is in color and we know what.
Also, you put painting at the top.
Yeah, on both, I said that. Thank you, Max. I messed up the rest of the PowerPoint already. I know it's a photograph. It is not a painting. And the next slide is going to say it too. I messed up, okay? I know I've been perfect all the time for you guys, like perfect all the time. But, you know, sometimes we make mistakes, okay? So let's go back to the next one. Let me see if I can get my computer to, all right. Now, I'm glad that I didn't mess up the circle on this one because I think this was actually kind of a difficult one, because if I'm looking at this, I see a lot of different shades of that black and white scale, just like we talked about, right? I see it in both pictures. I see a lot of dark contrast in both pictures. So I'm anxious to see who's gonna get this one correct. So raise your hand if you think it's the left one. Oh, man, you guys are just doing it. Okay. Raise your hand if you think it's the right one. Let's see. You guys are just too smart for me. Oh, yeah. Good job. I know there's a party going on. I can't see your faces, but woo woo. Oh, yeah. Getting it right. Getting it right. Good job. You guys are all so smart. Okay. So can you guys see this red thing going around on my screen? I don't actually know. You can. Amazing. I didn't even know. I don't know how I did that, but apparently I am learning all kinds of new Zoom things, even after being on all the time. Okay, so now I have a mission for you guys. Actually, before we talk about the mission, I'm gonna put you back on full screen so I can see your faces, and I want anybody to share anything with me or ask any questions that you have. So if there's something you want to share, that has to do with what we learned about today, not Legos and not cats this time, okay? But if you have something you want to share about what we learned about today, I want to hear it. Or if you have a question about what we learned about today. Levi, go for it, bud.
How the other two was so easy, how I knew that they were photos, well, because I saw this white stuff on the outpost, and kind of only photos have that, so I knew.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I almost didn't use that one because it had that, but I think the other one was a photo too, so it still could have been tricky because the other one didn't have the white border, but it was also a photo. They were both photos. All of them were. Thank you for sharing, Levi. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Ella, go ahead, love.
I have a question for you.
Sure. Okay, I hope I can answer it. We'll see.
Have you ever been to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum in Santa Fe?
I have. Did you guys know that we have a Georgia O'Keeffe Museum in Santa Fe? And looks like Max has probably been there too. I have been there. It is quite amazing and interesting to walk around and see all her beautiful pieces of art. I don't know with COVID right now if it's still open. I would have to do some research, but I think what I'll do is I'll put a link to the museum when I post this video on Nature Niños too, for anybody that hasn't been before or wants to do some research. Ariella, do you want to share? Did I say that right? Okay, sorry, love. I'm trying really hard. Go ahead. Can you unmute yourself, or you need me to? You can. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I've heard of Georgia O'Keeffe, and I didn't know who she was, so just wanted to say that I liked the little thing that you taught.
Good. I'm glad. I appreciate that feedback, and I'm glad you guys learned something about her. I think it's really interesting, and I think some of these classes, the whole point is to introduce you guys to something new that you've never learned, and then let you do some research on your own out of class, because there's so much more to learn about Georgia O'Keeffe and Ansel Adams. And now that you know about them, you could, learn a little bit more. Yeah. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Grace, go for it, love.
I like making pictures too. I can show you some Christmas pictures.
Oh, look at that picture. Did you just recently draw that?
Yeah.
Nice. You know, you are a girl after my own heart. I love Christmas. And it's only August and you're drawing Christmas pictures. That makes me very happy.
I can't see it.
I see. You have a nice big Christmas tree there with a star on the top.
I can't see the picture.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
We can't look at. We can't see the picture.
Oh, you can't see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on really quick, Grace. Stop sharing real quick. Stop share. Now can you guys see?
Go ahead and hold it up.
You might have to scroll through until you can see Grace's picture. I can see your
Yes,
picture.
we can.
Oh, good. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Nice picture, Grace. I'm loving it. Yeah, seriously, that's some awesome Christmas artwork. You're going to have to turn those into some Christmas cards when Christmas rolls around, right? It looks like Levi is sharing a piece of art with us too. And if anybody else has any art they want to share that they've drawn before I get to what we're going to work on this week, you guys are more than welcome to share. Thank you, Grace, for sharing. Those were great. Go ahead. Oh, Levi, what do you have there?
Oh, it's my picture, and I was unmuted because I thought you were gonna answer me before any of you talking, but then Paul just yelled out, and I. Sorry about that. Paul, stop! No.
It's okay. Thank you for. Oh, you want to share us your artwork, Levi?
This is one of my favorite pictures. I like to draw pictures of like Pokemon or like Sabertooth battles, and like when like something team from like Ninjago go into battles, like lots of the things battle in like magic stuff and all of that.
Nice. Thank you for sharing with us, Levi. Keep up your great artwork. Max, did you want to share something? Max and then Ella.
So I have two things.
Okay.
One, my mom said that we have actually been to Ghost Ranch and saw some fossils of the state dinosaur. I don't remember the name right now.
Okay.
And also, she used to have a reprint of one of the pictures by Ansel Adams.
I'm kind of jealous. I was just, as I was doing all my research for this class, Max, that's what I was telling my husband. I'm like, I think we need some Ansel Adams prints in our house because they're really just beautiful. And everyone I was looking at, I mean, you just look at it from a different angle and I feel like you see something totally different. So I want to get some. That's cool that your mom has some. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to? Oh, Ella. Sorry, Ella, you were next.
Okay, I have a couple pictures that I drew, but first Jet has one.
Okay, fantastic.
I painted this.
Wait, where'd you go? Sorry, you moved on my screen. Oh, you painted that. I like it. Very nice. Fantastic. It looks like an old farmhouse.
The Bob Ross tutorial one, but it's hanged up and I can't get it off.
Gotcha.
When I draw, I like to draw animals, but I draw them in black and white. So.
Okay.
This is an English bulldog.
Wow, that is really good, Ella.
And then I have a couple more. This is a cat, a kitty.
That is a cat, and that is a very fluffy, chubby cat. It makes me want to just squeeze its cheeks. It's very cute.
Is a cat that's stretching.
Wow. You're quite the artist, Miss Ella.
Yeah. This is a seal.
My personal favorite.
Yes, it is. It is also very chubby and very cute.
It's a German Shepherd pup.
Very nice. Wow, you should continue that. That's very great work, Ella. Good job. Anybody else want to share before I tell you what you guys are going to work on this week? No. Okay. So let me go back. Let me screen share, go back to here, click, 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 you know. Okay, everybody should be able to see this now. And now I know you can see my my red drawings too. Okay, so one of Georgia O'Keeffe's favorite activities was to pick up a seashell as she walked along the beach. Well, we don't have a beach here, so we might have to be a little bit different, but she displayed her collection at her home in New Mexico, and she often drew her favorite shells. By surrounding herself with objects from nature, she could carefully observe shapes, patterns, colors, and other essential details, okay? She believed that to see takes time, like to have a friend takes time. So we don't just meet somebody and all of a sudden we're best friends, right? It takes a little bit of time and it takes a little bit of effort. And so we have to practice that. We have to practice being a really good friend, and we have to practice being a really good artist, okay? It takes a lot of careful looking to get to know something well. So this is what you guys are gonna need this week. You'll need a pad of paper, a pencil, colored pencils, crayons, colored chalk, pastel markers, or watercolors. You don't have to have all of those by any means, okay? What you have at home is perfectly fine, even if it's just a piece of paper and a pencil, okay? It doesn't have to be fancy. And then what I want you guys to do is first, hold on, I have to find, because somebody is not on mute and it's making it really loud on this end. So I'm gonna mute them really quick. First, select something from nature to study. It can be anything. You can go in your backyard, go on a walk around the block, go to a park with your parents, a leaf, a flower, a shell, a stone, anything, a stick, it doesn't matter, okay? Place it on the table and sit nearby with your paper and drawing materials, okay? And then you're going to examine the object carefully. You're gonna look at all of its little bumps, all of its little nooks and crannies, okay? Study its colors, its shapes, its patterns, and designs, okay? What makes it unique? Why is that stick or that leaf different from all the other leaves that you can find outside? That's what we want to know, okay? And then we're going to explore this object in a series of drawings on separate sheets of paper and try to fill the entire sheet of paper. Try not to draw it really tiny on the sheet of paper. Try to use the whole thing when you're drawing whatever your object is, okay? So you're gonna experiment with color. Use only a pencil to draw the object. Draw it again with a colored pencil, okay? Draw it again with a couple different colors. And then draw it in as many colors as you would like. Use your imagination. Same object, don't change the object. We wanna get to know the object, okay? And then we're going to explore with design. So draw the entire object and then switch sides of the table. Draw it from a totally different view, okay? Or turn the object around if you can't switch from sides of the table, okay? Select just one detail and draw it as if you were looking through a magnifying glass, kind of like how Georgia O'Keeffe zooms in on her flowers. We saw a few of those, right? Where it's super close up on the flower. Just choose one part of your object that you want to draw, okay? And then imagine how the object would look to an insect. Make a drawing showing a bug's eye view of your object. Or draw the object in an imaginary landscape, kind of like how she had that skull hanging right in the sky with a flower right next to it. That's not real. Obviously, she didn't see that. It's okay if your stick is hanging, or your stick is hanging from a cloud, or whatever you want to do. Use your imagination, okay? You can include the sky, water, land, other animals. You can include buildings in your picture. You are not Georgia O'Keeffe. You are not, you know, you can include things that she didn't include in yours. So that is your mission for this week. I can see Ella is very excited. She's ready. Gio, I want to know what question you have, bud. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Do you have to go to the park to get your thing?
Absolutely not. No. You can go where.
Just print it out or something?
Well, that is going to be the challenge. I want you to find something in nature. But what is nature? Somebody tell me where you can find nature. Unmute yourself and just tell me. Where can you find nature?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Now, that's perfect. I do love that answer, but give me some specifics. Where can you find nature?
Outside.
Outside. Outside your front door. Outside your back door. Outside your window. Where else can you find it?
All around you.
Out of the car. All around you. Where else? Anybody? How about if you go to the grocery store with your mom and there's a tree there? That's nature, okay? How about if there's no trees in your neighborhood, but there's some little bit of grass growing in between the sidewalks and you're walking on the sidewalk and you can see some grass? Guess what? That's nature, okay? nature can also be the clouds in the sky. So if you have nothing around you that you can bring in, you can't find a leaf, you can't find a stick, you can't find a rock, you can't find an acorn, you can't find a seed, you can't find anything that can come inside with you, then you can also take your work outside. If it needs to stay where it is, then take your drawing materials to wherever that is, okay? So that's your mission. Now, here's the second part of the mission. Ready for this part? I want to see them, okay? I want to see them. So if you want to share, you're not required. I would never force you to do it. So if you're not comfortable and you don't want to share and you want to keep it as your special project, that's perfectly fine too. But I would love to see anybody that wants to share it. I would love to see it, okay? So what I will do, in the group chat right now, I am going to type my email address, okay? And you can write that down, but you can also send it to me on Nature Niños Facebook page. So if your parents are on that, which they probably are, because that's probably how they got you here, you can send it that way. Or you can, yeah, that's probably the two easiest ways. So send it to me on Messenger on the Nature Niños Facebook page, or shoot it to me in an email if you want to share. I would love to see whatever they are, okay? Does anybody have any questions before we say goodbye for the day? Max.
So when people are showing off their art, does a 3D miniature count as art if you've painted it?
Anything counts as art, in my opinion, honestly.
Okay, can I show off my one I painted?
I would love to see it. Oh, that is pretty cool. You painted that? Very cool. That's awesome. That's a great piece of art. I think art can be, whatever art means to you is what art is. I mean,
this is also a guy that's in process.
Oh, very cool.
I still need to glue him together, but he's almost done.
I love it. I've never even seen miniature figures like that you paint. My kids are working on model cars. And so they're working on gluing together right now they're still working on the engines of the cars, but eventually they'll have a whole car that they build and that they can paint, and that's considered art. Baking a cake, decorating the cake, baking it in itself, that's considered art. It's a lot of work, right? So anything can be art. I saw another hand raised. It looks like it was Ella. Ella, go ahead.
Okay, I have two paintings, but Jet has one he wants to show first.
Okay, let's see it.
So this is my Pinewood Derby car from a Pinewood Derby car race that I went to. I got second place overall in my troop.
Right on. Very good.
I painted it. Okay, somewhat painted it. Oh yeah, that helped. I have a painting that I painted and then one that my cousin painted.
Okay.
And she gave it to me. So this is the one my cousin painted.
Oh, beautiful.
And then this is the one I painted.
Oh, that's beautiful too. Very cool. If I was in my other room, I would show you. I could go grab them, but I love to paint. It's one of my very favorite things to do, and I've done it since I was pretty young. But I have a room in the house that I hang all of my paintings in. So, but you guys don't want to see my paintings. I like to see your paintings. How about that? Anything else anybody wants to share or say before we log off for the day? No? Good. Jet. Goodness gracious, you guys are chatty McChattersons today. Come on, what you got?
Okay, so when we went to the botanical garden, the gift shop was open. So I got this penguin. It's a macaroni penguin. We named it Queso.
I like him. I like him. I love penguins. It looks like, I don't know what your name is, love, but you're on your Zoom. It says Jay Hunter. Oh, go ahead.
My birthday's coming up.
What? How old are you going to be? 22?
6.
Oh, 6.
It's tomorrow.
Goodness. Tomorrow? Oh my goodness. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. That is so exciting. I can't believe 6. 6 is getting so old. Do you feel old?
No.
No, probably not. Probably not. Well, happy birthday. Happy early birthday to you. I hope you have a wonderful birthday tomorrow, okay? All right, anything else anybody else wants to share? Levi, quickly, and that's our last one for the day.
I'm already 7.
Me too.
You're not.
Yes, how did you know? I'm 7. Yeah, that's exactly how old I am.
No, I am 7.
We're gonna go on a walk.
I am 7 too.
No, you're not.
No, you're right. I'm not 7. I'm old. I'm just like I'm like old as a dinosaur.
No, you're not.
No, I'm definitely not as old as a dinosaur. You're right. I'm definitely not. All right. Anybody else? I know I said that was the last one. Oh, I see some artwork. I see some beautiful artwork. Do you want to tell us about your artwork? I don't know how to say your name, love. Let's see. And I can't unmute you either. There we go.
Nuseba.
Naseba? Oh, I love that. That is a beautiful name. I've never heard that before. Naseba, would you like to tell us about your artwork?
Well, I made like this art of like leaves, like when I collected leaves from my front yard and backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I got all different kinds of leaves, and I painted on them.
Okay.
And put it on a piece of paper. And this was the shape of one of them. So I thought maybe I could make it so that it has like purple dots and a crab wooden dot with a like cell on it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And from way back here, it's a little small in my view, but from back here, it kind of looks a lot like some Georgia O'Keeffe paintings with some really bright colors. So that's really cool.
Markers I just got, that's why.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you for sharing with us. That's beautiful. And I'm so happy to see you today. I don't think I've seen you in one of our classes today, huh? Is this your first time? Well, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for coming today. And thank you for sharing. All right, Max, last one. We could talk all day. Maybe I should go get my lunch and just eat lunch while we all share all day. All right, go for it, Max. Oh, I muted you. I'm sorry. That was my fault. Go ahead.
So I have some art that I've done, but I'm not claiming this is my art. I have traced this, but put a little bit of my own spin on it.
Okay.
I have some art here, though.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
And then I have this one.
Oh, that's cool too. Oh, yes. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Very cool. Very detailed. Nice. It's a lot of work. Even if it is tracing, it's still a lot of work to be able to trace like that. And when you're tracing, it actually teaches you some technique of drawing. So there's no shame in that whatsoever. Oh, that's cool. Is that a cow?
No.
Put it back up because it looked like it had a cow face. Maybe it's just because I own a cow that I think everything looks like a cow.
It's a gas mask. It's a pyroclastic.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but raise your hand if you think it looked like a cow. Thank you. Okay, it wasn't just me. My good. I thought the face, it was like totally a cow face.
Yeah,
But a gas mask makes sense. It makes sense. All right. I think we're good. Is that it, everybody? Fantastic. All right. You guys all have your lesson and your work for the week. I want to see them. If you want to share, I want to see them. Okay. I want to see as you guys progress and take pictures of each one as you try a new technique. And then maybe we'll do like an art gallery or something like that. That would be kind of cool. Okay. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your week. See you later. See you next week, Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll see you next
Be
Tuesday.
good. Make smart choices.
Bye.
Bye, Levi. Bye, Ella. Bye, Joe. Bye, Miss Whiteford. Bye, guys.
Sarah? Miss Sarah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I wanted to show you one last thing.
Okay.
Not painting, but I did embroidery
Oh.
on a pillowcase.
Yes, you did. Very cool. It sounds like you and I could be good friends. I was learning so I learned when I was a little girl, but I